So if you're an independent artist today, you're not just a musician, right? You're fundamentally a professional juggler.
Running a small, highly ambitious startup.
Yeah, exactly. You are the sole creator, the head of marketing, the booking agent, the business manager, often all before your first cup of coffee.
And that's the thing. We know the music industry's hustle culture, that pressure to be constantly creating, constantly posting. It can turn that passion into, well, a straight line toward burnout.
It's an overwhelming reality, and frankly, it's just not sustainable.
It isn't. The challenge has moved so far beyond just making great music.
Yeah.
It's being everything else while somehow staying creatively inspired.
Which is why our mission in this deep dive is really to cut through that noise. We're using the sources you shared to extract the foundational, the strategic, the mindset shifts you need to build a career that actually supports you.
Supports your art and your well-being.
Right. We've pulled insights from a ton of material covering everything from creative energy to distribution logistics, and the core thesis is so clear.
Mm-hmm. Sustainable success comes from balance and strategy, not burnout.
Not just grinding out more hours. We're going to look at how to convert pure passion into repeatable, resilient business practices.
So let's start with the most overlooked area, the one that makes everything else possible, the inner game.
I found this part so compelling.
Before you launch a single campaign or book any shows, you need an anchor. And that anchor is your artistic identity.
And the sources are absolutely insistent on this. Authenticity is the cornerstone of connection. Your most powerful stories, they come directly from your lived experiences.
The heartbreaks, the triumphs, the fears.
Exactly, all of it. If you're filtering those truths to try and sound like someone else, you're missing the entire point.
You really are. And authenticity requires, well, it requires courage because it means embracing vulnerability.
Which a lot of artists see as a weakness.
They do. But it's the greatest strength you have. When you share something true, something unfiltered, you give your audience permission to feel deeply too.
And that emotional resonance, it's not just a nice idea, is it? It's actually a measurable thing.
Oh, absolutely. Research shows it's the #1 factor in music memorability and shareability.
Yeah.
Your unique perspective, that's literally what makes you irreplaceable.
Okay, so once you have that anchor, that identity,
Yeah.
how do you protect the creative energy you need to keep going? Because sustainability demands pacing. It's a marathon, not a sprint.
And that means managing your energy, not just your time.
Right.
Energy is finite, but you can actively renew it. The first step is just self-awareness.
Yeah.
Figuring out your natural rhythms.
Are you a morning lark or a night owl?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Do you hit your creative peak at 9 a.m. or after dinner?
Yeah.
You have to schedule your most demanding creative work songwriting, arranging for those peak hours.
And then save the logistical stuff like answering emails or updating your bio for when you're in that mid-afternoon slump.
That's the key.
I think that's a great challenge for you listening right now. And then look at your last week. How much peak energy time did you waste on emails that could have waited?
And scheduling isn't enough. The sources also make it really clear that the physical foundation is absolutely critical.
It's the operating system, right?
It is. You can't overstate the role of physical health. We're talking 7 to 9 hours of quality sleep, nutritious meals, regular exercise.
You can't network effectively or write a great song if you're running on fumes and cortisol spikes.
No. And that leads to the hardest part, especially for artists just starting out, setting boundaries.
This is a big one. I know so many artists feel this massive guilt about saying no. Isn't there a time when you have to say yes to everything just to get some momentum?
That is a critical question.
Yeah.
And the distinction is between necessary hustling and compulsive hustling.
Okay, what's the difference?
Necessary hustling is taking the gig that strategically moves you forward, even if it's tough. Compulsive hustling is checking your email at midnight, letting business invade every moment of your life.
Ah, I see.
Boundaries stop that compulsive cycle. You have to define what's okay and what's not. I don't take business calls after 6 p.m. or Sundays are for rest, period.
And that's not selfish. It's protecting your long-term ability to create.
Exactly. You need that protective layer because the reality of this industry is constant rejection, criticism, creative blocks.
Financial instability, yeah. To navigate all that, you need massive resilience.
The secret weapon here is adopting a growth mindset instead of a fixed one.
A fixed mindset says, I failed the audition because I'm not good enough. It makes it personal.
It makes it a devastating personal attack, yeah.
Yeah.
But a growth mindset, it immediately shifts that weight to curiosity. It asks, okay, What specific parts of my performance can I improve? What skills do I need to work on?
That reframing it's just transformative. It takes the emotional weight out and replaces it with an actionable plan.
It does. And with confidence, we often think it has to come first. But the sources argue that real confidence comes from competence.
From mastering your craft
Hmm.
and knowing your value.
Right. Which is why you have to celebrate the small wins.
Don't wait for the stadium tour.
No. Celebrate finishing that difficult verse. Celebrate getting positive feedback after a small show. Use those things as real, tangible evidence of your growing capability.
Okay, so once that inner game is solid, let's move to the external structure, the independent artist hub. This is where we convert all that potential energy into revenue.
The first lesson is foundational. It's repeated all the time, but it's rarely taken seriously enough.
Social media is rented land.
It's rented land.
Yeah.
The algorithms change, platforms shut down, your access to your followers can be blocked instantly. Your website is the one digital property you truly own and control.
It's your 204/7 algorithm-proof ambassador, and crucially, it's where the money is.
Mhm.
The sources cite this huge conversion difference. Email is your most valuable asset. It converts at, what was it, 10, 20 times higher than a social media post.
10 to 20 times. It's because you control the channel.
Yeah.
You bypass the algorithms that are designed to filter your content. And that website, it needs to follow what we're calling the 4 commandments. It's about blending a professional presence with automated revenue.
Okay, commandment 1.
Build and own your fan list. You have to capture those email addresses. And you do that by offering a compelling incentive.
A strong value exchange, a free track, a discount code, some behind-the-scenes content, something that makes them want to sign up.
Exactly. Commandment 2, be discoverable and bookable. This means having a fast-loading electronic press kit, an EPK.
For anyone who doesn't know, that's just your digital package, right? Bio, photos, music links, all in one place for bookers and journalists.
And promoters are making decisions about slots in under 5 minutes. If they can't find a clean EPK with high-res assets right away,
They just move on.
they move on. Speed is everything.
Commandment 3.
Convert visitors into customers. Your website should be making money while you sleep. Set up a store for merch, of course, but also focus on digital sales.
Digital products like sample packs or lyric sheets, they have a nearly 100% profit margin after you create them once.
They're fantastic revenue boosters. And finally, commandment 4, measure and iterate.
Look at your analytics every month. Track email signups. Track revenue per visitor. Little tweaks can double your conversions over time.
And speaking of conversions, you have to remember the design principle, the one primary call to action rule on your homepage.
Oh, this is so important. Don't give people 3 options. Buy tickets, join my email list, watch my video.
No, decision paralysis is real, and it can cut conversions by 50 to 80%.
So a good example would be join the VIP list and get the secret track with one big, clear button.
Exactly. And a poor example is a homepage with 5 different links leading to 5 different platforms.
That intentional focus, it extends right into your content strategy too. You need content pillars.
3 to 5 core themes, like music and my creative process, fan engagement, or personal stories and values. It just guides everything so you're not scrambling for ideas.
But the trick to being consistent without burning out is batching and repurposing. This strategy is, it's non-negotiable for sustainability.
It really is.
So let's walk through that, because this is where you save so much time. The goal is to create one core, high-quality asset.
Right. So let's say you record one 4-minute, beautifully shot acoustic performance video.
Okay, one video.
That single 4-minute asset immediately becomes one full-length YouTube video. The audio goes to streaming, a link goes to your email list, but then
And you slice it up?
an editor extracts, say, 3 15-second clips for TikTok or Reels, 2 60-second clips for Instagram or X, a static image with a quote for your stories.
Wow. So one session gives you 10 plus pieces of content.
And that maintains consistency without 10 separate creation sessions. That's how you make it manageable.
Okay, let's talk about the financial foundation. Distribution and royalties. This is where technical mistakes can really cost you money.
They can. First thing,
Yeah.
when you prepare your music for distribution, always use WAV or FLAC files, lossless formats. Never use compressed MP3s.
Why is that so important?
Quality control. The platforms run checks, and you want to deliver the highest possible source quality. It allows for better mastering and playback everywhere. Also, your artwork needs to be at least 3,000 by 3,000 pixels.
And timing is crucial for discoverability. You have to upload your tracks 4 to 6 weeks before the release date.
That window gives you time for processing, but more importantly, it gives you time to pitch your track to editorial playlists on Spotify for artists.
You need to submit that at least 7 days before release. If you skip that step, you skip a huge chance for exposure.
And this next point is where independent artists routinely miss out on thousands of dollars. Comprehensive royalty collection.
Okay, let's slow down here because this is the most confusing area for so many artists. Three main buckets of money, three different collection agencies.
Correct. Bucket one is performance royalties. This is money paid every time your song is publicly performed.
So, on the radio, in a bar, on TV, or a non-interactive stream like Pandora.
Exactly. You collect this by registering with a PRO, a performance rights organization, like ASCAP, BMI, or CSAC. You just pick one.
Okay, that's bucket one.
Bucket two is mechanical royalties. This is for the reproduction of the song, every time it's streamed interactively on Spotify or Apple Music or downloaded.
And in the US, that's collected by the Mechanical Licensing Collective, the MLC.
That's right. And bucket three is digital performance royalties. This is only for the performance of the sound recording on non-interactive digital radio.
Like SiriusXM.
And that's collected by Sound Exchange. The key takeaway is simple. If you are not registered with your PRO, the MLC, and Sound Exchange, you are absolutely leaving money on the table right now.
That breakdown makes it so much clearer. You have to treat those like essential utilities for your business.
You do.
Okay, moving on to the connection engine. Live shows are your superpower.
They absolutely are. It doesn't matter the size of the venue. Live shows are where tracks become experiences. Connection is maximized. The sources show that 73% of fans report that live shows create a deeper, more lasting connection than streaming alone.
So you have to use your set list like a story, right? A narrative arc with peaks and valleys.
You guide the audience through an experience, not just a list of songs. And you craft what we call connection moments.
This isn't just awkward stage banter.
No. It's intentionally sharing the stories behind the songs, showing that vulnerability we talked about, building a real relationship.
And the merch table is a massive multiplier.
Oh, it can be a 5 times revenue increase over your guarantee or ticket sales. You just have to make sales frictionless.
Put the table somewhere visible, accept every payment method, cash, card, Venmo, and always have those $5 to $10 impulse buys.
Stickers, pins, pics. They add up so quickly and boost that average sale.
And the relationship doesn't end when the show's over. The 24 to 48 hours after a show, that's the golden opportunity window.
Use it. Follow up with a personalized email, not a generic blast to the attendees. Reference specific moments from the night. Show them you noticed them, that the experience mattered to you too.
Let's talk about strategic collaboration. It's often the fastest path to new audiences and, credibility.
It is. But when you approach collaborators, you have to lead with value. Don't just ask for a feature. Offer something specific you bring to the table.
Maybe you have a great recording setup, or you're great at graphic design.
Right. Focus on partnerships that are mutually beneficial. But, and this is critical, before a single note is recorded, you have to safeguard your career legally.
Use split sheets. Put everything in writing. Songwriting credits, publishing percentages, master ownership.
It avoids career-destroying disputes later on, especially if the song lands a major sync deal.
Which brings us to advanced monetization. Sync licensing, getting your music into TV, film, ads, offers huge income and exposure.
But to be viable for sync, you have to be prepared. The essential requirement is having full instrumental versions of all your tracks ready to go.
And you have to provide separated stems.
For anyone unfamiliar, stems are just the individual audio tracks. The separate file for the drums, the bass, the lead vocal. Editors need those to mix your music into their project.
And you have to own or control both the master rights, the recording, and the publishing rights, the composition itself.
If your publishing is tied up somewhere else, you're often locked out of the best sync opportunities.
And for direct fan support, we're seeing more sustainable models like crowdfunding and subscriptions.
The key here is framing it as a partnership, not just a transaction. Use inclusive language, like we and our project.
And campaigns with a sincere video pitch raise so much more money.
They really do. And you have to set realistic goals. Campaigns that hit 30% of their goal in the first few days have an 80% success rate overall. That early energy is everything.
So to wrap up this deep dive, building a sustainable music career really rests on 3 pillars. An inner game anchored in authenticity and resilience.
A professional business hub, your website, that reliably converts interest into income.
And a relentless strategic focus on maximizing connection through live shows and smart monetization.
And you have to remember, your network truly is your net worth. The artists whose careers you admire, they all started with passion and a willingness to learn. You have more tools and information available than any generation before you.
So here's the final challenge, and it connects all of these points. The local scene is your launchpad. Building a strong local fan base provides tangible proof that you can connect with an audience, and you need that proof to approach bigger opportunities.
Managers, festivals, conferences, they want to see that.
So which local venue or artist will you reach out to this week with a polished EPK and a clear value proposition to start building those critical partnerships and launch your consistent performance schedule? Start that conversation today.